going. Hello, my name is Deborah Jenkins. I will be your nurse practitioner today. I will be doing your assessment. Um, this is Mr. John Smith. Mr. Smith has agreed to participate. Mr. Smith, this is a recorded session and we need your permission. Mr. Smith is also a minor. I am his guardian and I give permission. I consent to this as well. Okay. So what we're going to start is an examination of his thorax, and what this is basically his chest area. What I'm looking at just basically on observation, or inspection rather, is looking at his breathing pattern. I'm looking at how it's nice and regular. His we like respirations between 14, normal respirations between 14 to 20, and clearly he's doing that. I'm looking at the symmetry, I'm looking at the contouring of his chest, I'm looking at the comparison of his skin, so I don't see any obvious deformities, there's no bruising, I'm looking at the contouring, I'm looking at the coil of his clavicle, everything just seems to be symmetry. What I'm going to do is have you turn to the side. Again, here, there's no, when he's breathing, if you can hold your hands out, there is no retraction of his accessory muscles when he's breathing. Come back, bring your arms at 40 degrees. When I'm looking at the profile, there was no barrel stomach. He just leaned forward, sir. You could just see his back, and that's normal. So you can come on back, sir. You can actually sit down and turn this way for me. Thank you. So right now, ouch. Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. So what we're going to do right now is look at the lung expansion. Take a deep breath for me. Out. In. Out. And now I'd like you to rotate and face the other way forward, please. So what this test we're going to do is we're going to look to see we're going to follow, first of all, we're going to observe his back again. You can see the normality. There is no abnormality. I'm looking at the shape. Take a deep breath. Out. And that is obvious when you look at the way he's breathing. What I'm going to ask you to do is I'm going to take what we did earlier on when he took a deep breath. That was his lung expansion. So what we're going to do is take a second look at what we're going to do is we're going to call this lung excursion. And what this does is help us determine where his diaphragm is. Okay? So I want you to take a couple of breaths, take 2 breaths, and then hold your breath for me. Okay? But as you do that, I am going to palpate again, and I'm palpating for areas that should have airflow and not. And again, I'm palpating I'm trying to find where his diaphragm is when he takes in his deep breath and takes a deep breath and holds the breath in. Okay, so go ahead. Took your 2 breaths. Take a deep breath and hold in. Okay, I'm going to mark it. Okay, all right. I want you to take another deep breath. And then I want you to take another deep breath. And then now I want you to blow out. Okay? All right. Blow out. Okay. And that's about 4 centimeters right there. Okay. Okay, good. So, turn back around for me. What I'm going to do is ascertain his lungs. And what I'm doing is I'm looking for I'm looking for regular air movement of air. I'm not looking for any high-pitched sounds. Right now I'm going to do is listen. And everything I'm doing is just going to go for symmetry. So this is what we're going to start listening to. We listen for any adventitious sounds. When you have normal lung sounds. So just breathe normal. So deep breath. Okay, it's all right. So that's very good. What we're going to do now, I'm gonna have him turn around because we're gonna perform a series of tests. We're gonna perform something called ephony, bronchophony, and we're gonna also perform something called a pectoloquy. And what this does, we're looking for any type of consolidation. Typically, when we do these next three tests, it should be, we should have a dull sound, okay? If it's a high-pitched sound, that is indicative of consolidation. So I'm going to have you say, every time you hear me touch the bell of the diaphragm, I want you to say E every time you hear me touch, okay? Just keep saying E, okay?
E.
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 Thank you. And the sound did not change. It did not turn into an A. So that tells me that there is no consolidation. For the bronchoscopy, what we're going to do is I'm going to have them say 99, and again, I'm going to repeat the same places. Every time you hear me touch, please say 99, okay?
99, 99, 99, 99, 99, 99.
Very good, very good. And the last test, what we're going to do, last test, what I'm going to do is have him whisper 1, 2, 3, and I'm going to repeat the same pattern that I just did. So just say 1, 2, 3, okay? Every time you hear me say that, okay?
1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3. 1, 2, 3.
All right, thank you so much. I'd like you to turn around and turn around this way for me. Okay, all right, so that's good. So what we looked at is the thoracic. He had good lung expansion. There was no adventitious sounds. There was no wails, no wheezing. And when we turned him around earlier on and we measured, it was showing that his diaphragm actually sits at 4 centimeters. The last thing we will do is, actually, that's it. That's the thorax exam. So what we will do now is switch to his cardiac. So what I need you to do, sir, is please sit down. We're going to have him sit down at 30 degrees. So lay on back, sir. All right. And now just on player observation again, I'm looking at his, looking at the contouring, looking at the coloring. Again, I was looking at his chest rises. Excuse me, sir. Looking at chest rises. I'm looking to see if he has any JVD with his jugular. Go ahead to the side, sir. Looking to see if he has any type of jugular distension, which would be indicative of some type of heart failure or fluid on board. He doesn't have that. What I will do is pulsate his carotid, and I do feel it. It's right here by his mastoid muscle. And because I felt it, now I can actually listen. When I listen, I'm listening to see if he has any turbulence, or what we would call a type of palpate the blue and feel the throat. And as we're looking at that now, what we're going to do is we're going to go ahead and just we're going to listen over his aortic artery, his pulmonic, his aortic, his pulmonic, his tricuspid, and then his mitral valve. Right there, as a matter of fact, sir, I do need you to sit up one more time. Thank you. Turn this way for better visibility. So here we have, so you start right here, you come down to the second rib space, and that will be right here for the aortic, pulmonic, tricuspid, and right here on the mid clavicular line, on the fourth to fifth intercostal space, it's going to be his mitral valve, which is also synonym for his PMI. And this is the same place where you'd find the S1, S2, commonly known as your heartbeat. Okay? What I'm going to do is also use the bell, repeating the same places I've just touched, because again, I'm looking to feel any type of bruise. Okay? Another way to palpate would be to just literally just hold my hand right there and to feel that pulsing right under that PMI, point of maximum impact. And you can feel it, I can feel it. Okay, so thank you, you did well. So that's SI ossidated. So what we can say right now, again, there's no heaving, there's no wheezing, there's no pulsation, there's no abnormal lung sounds. So that is good. The other thing we want to do right now is actually turn this way for me. Turn this way one more time. Okay? Alright, lay on back for me. What we want to do, I need you to probably, I'm having you on the wrong side, I'm sorry. I do need you to lay on that side. I'm so sorry.
On that side?
Lay on your side. Just bring your feet up as best as you can and just lay on your side. And I want you to put this arm above your head. Okay, cool. Now what we're doing, for the purpose of this, I'm going to bring this down. Excuse me, sir. It's right here in the middle. What I'm listening for right there is for any type of mitral valve stenosis. Okay? Thank you, sir. You can come on back up. I want you to sit down and lean forward. Okay, cool. And now we're going to look for some type of aortic regurgitation. So I'm going to have you lean forward. And I will actually want you to lean forward and hold your breath just briefly for me. So we're going to do it at the point of the tricuspid. The tricuspid and or between the tricuspid and the herb, the point of herb. Hold your breath just deep, briefly. Okay, cool. And that there is what is not indicated is any type of aortic regurgitation. And that there would be the end of the cardiac. So now what we're going to do is we are going to move into peripheral vascular system. Thank you. So what I'd like you to do is we're going to palpate your radial pulses and your brachial. So I'm going to hold this right here for a full minute. It's nice and regular. It is not erratic. Then I'm going to move to his brachial pulse. Again, I can check it for a whole minute. It is not erratic, nor is it irregular. We are also going to lift up his axillary lymph node. And if you're doing a little circular pattern, you just hold it right there. And I already can feel the pulsing, nice and regular. Okay. What we're going to do now is estimate the width of his abdominal aorta. So digitally back this way and then get back down. And typically this is very indicative of like a AAA, which would be the abdominal aortic aneurysm. Many times it's tend to be found when you're usually having another workup, unless you probably had some discoloration of your toes. And basically what you do, you just put your hand right here. You just kind of press down. What I'm looking for is any type of swelling or bulging or any type of discomfort. And there is none. It's not indicative of anything. Right here is his inguinal lymph, and I will not access that for the purposes of this video. And to be honest with you, if you go a little lower, you'll also feel his femoral pulses. And again, I will not go any lower. So at this point in time, I'd like you to sit up for me, please, because what we're going to do is look at his extremities. I'd like you to turn facing the camera. I'd like you to kind of push yourself backwards and bring your feet up for me. Bring your knees up for me. Thank you. I'd like to see both legs. Okay, good. Good. Yes, don't go any further. You're good. No, don't go any further back. I want you to fall. So what I'm looking for is the distribution of air. I'm looking at the distribution of hair. I'm looking to see if there's any abnormality. I'm looking at his pedal pulses. I'm looking at his dorsalis, his posterior tibia pulses, the psoas pedis. I'm gonna hold his leg up. Popliteal pulses. Take a minute to feel that. Okay, come on back. Same thing here. This is here's dorsalis pedis. This is posterior tibial pulse. And then this is his popliteal. Okay. All right. So now again, when we look at his leg, we're looking for any type of vascular pattern indicative of in other words, we want to make sure he's well vascularized. When you look at his capillary refill, it's less than 2. I'm also looking at his color symmetry, the distribution of his hair, and that is normal. Next thing we're going to do, I'm going to use the back of my hand to assess the color of his skin, and it's nice and cool. And then we're going to do is palpate for any type of edema, and he doesn't have any. There is no pitting edema, or there's no fluid being built up in his ankles or his legs. And the last thing we're going to do, and likewise with his there is no venous tenderness either. For example, when he puts his leg up or down, there is no tenderness because he's been holding the position as well. And then the last thing we want to do is for you to hang your legs over this for me. And what we're going to do is we're going to just adjust this a little bit. We're going to conduct the Allen test. I'd like you to hold your hands out for me. And I want you to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, good. Okay. Again, 1, 2. I want you to look at the yellow in his hands. Yes. Okay, see that how it's nice and yellow because he's pumping that blood. So what I'm going to do is right here, I'm going to have to open that in. And what I'm going to do is, see how that blood just flowed right back in? So he has great vascularity on that side. This hand, pump it till it gets yellow. And that's blanching the blood flow. And then make it tight. Turn the hand in. Now I'm going to block that blood flow. Open your hand. See how it's nice and yellow? I'm going to release this. See how that blood just rolled back in again? And that, my dear sir, is his Allen test that he did. So, again, we looked at his legs. There's no tenderness. We looked at the size, edema, the color, his pulses, and That completes the assessment. Thank you.